Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me again. I hope you're doing well. Today you join me in the Iveco Motors recovery truck slash transport vehicle. This is a 2016 Iveco 35S, I believe the model number is. And it's an ex-Tesco delivery truck. So it would have had a refrigerated body on the back. That's been removed and it's been converted into a recovery truck. So this I bought as a ready-made kit through a contact in the trade. They'd already removed the body, taken off all the air conditioning, cooling stuff, and it's had a Carter bodies beaver tail fitted. That is aluminium checker plate, top over a steel body. It's got steel ramps as well, new lights, and they also fitted a stealth winch with remote controls and everything, which is a really good bit of kit. On top of that, we've done some modifications ourselves. So the whole cab has been wrapped black, or at least the whole front of the cab has been wrapped black. They come white, obviously, and they have kind of usually the hologram style outlines of where they used to have the Tesco badges and everything. It doesn't look that great. Most people tend to just put their graphics over the top and you don't really notice it. But as Iveco Motors and Cars Bought For More, our vehicles tend to be black. It's kind of our look, it's our uniform if you like. So we decided we'd wrap it black, have our logo and everything put on top. And then there was the sort of duckbill roof and the back of the cab, which was still white. So I decided to wrap to paint those in black, just to make the whole thing a bit of a finished look. We tend to get a lot of, comments on it. It looks good. It's one of the nicer recovery trucks you tend to see running around in our area. So I feel like it is worthwhile doing. If we ever ended up selling it, hopefully I won't. Hopefully I'll be buying more of these. But if we were, it's something different. It's always good to stand out, right? Our Range Rover, which has the big graphics on the side, we quite often get called, "Oh, you're the guys from Iveco Motors. Yeah, I recognise your Land Rover. I can't miss it." In fact, even today, just getting ready to make this video, the customer came up to me and, "Oh, I bought my car from you. Would you be interested in buying it back?" Yes, we would. Visit carsboughtformore.com. Hey, all right.
My car off you. You don't buy them back again, do you?
Yeah, we will do. Yeah.
What, for like a much lower price? Yeah?
It will be less, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, advertising and paying for the money for sign writing, in my opinion, pays off. It's got to be one of the cheapest ways to advertise your business if you are in business. I think I probably spent in total, let's say, £700 or £800 on the wrap, and then the graphics. The wrap to paint might have been another £100. If you were to say on top it's £1,000, well, I spend £3,500 on Auto Trader every month. Every month. This is a really cheap way. This vehicle's out and about. It's people will see it who aren't necessarily looking for cars or actively looking to buy, but that name, Iveco Motors, will be fresh in their mind because they would have seen, "Oh, I saw a nice black recovery truck and they had a nice car on the back. Oh, I wonder where that car's going." Well, they know it's going back to Iveco Motors. So that's my view on sign writing and kind of advertising your business. I think it's one of the cheapest, most basic ways of doing it. So if you are in business, get some magnetic stickers or something, stick them on the side of your car, get the sign writing done. I'm sure, although it may be a slow burner, it will pay off. Anyway, back to the truck. A bit of leftover wrap to paint. I had a stencil made. We've got the BM logo on the back. We've fitted a Bluetooth radio. I've fitted, or I've had fitted by a local company to us, Mobile Eco Tuning. Aaron is a bit of a whiz with the electric, so he fitted me a nice control panel of switches. So we've got interior cabin lights. We have got spotlight for the back, so a big work lamp. So if we ever need to do a recovery at night or a collection when it comes through the winter deliveries, collections, huge. Well, I say huge, it's only about 12 inches, but it's a hell of a lot of light comes off that 12 volt LED lamp. We've got the strobe light as well, which currently is only one that's on the front, so I could do with having some lights on the back, but that's something we'll have to address at some point. I've fitted a very top-end leather cover for the steering wheel. It was actually too big, so I've had to chop it and wrap it with tape, but still, again, it's on 158,000 miles and the steering wheel was pretty worn through. It's something you've got to hold the entire journey. It just kind of did my head in, so this actually is a much nicer feel, and I will probably get it done properly. If there's any kind of trimming companies out there who do steering wheels, please do get in touch. I'd probably be very interested in getting this done properly and repaired, because there's still a bit of contour in it. These Ivecos really lend themselves to being recovery trucks. They're rear-wheel drive, they're long wheelbase, so you've got a bit of extra room for having the bed built on top. They're a 2.2 diesel that has absolutely loads of power, and they have probably the highest towing capacity, as far as I'm aware, for these chassis cabs. So more than the Sprinter, more than a Transit, etc. So this can take a trailer on the back as well and tow another car on the trailer. So we do have electrics and things that need to be fitted to be able, in order to be able to do that, but that hasn't happened as of yet. It has got tons of power. Bear in mind, if you are going to get a Tesco's or Asda one, they're going to be limited to 58 miles an hour. We've had ours remapped anyway, just for a bit of extra power, and we had the limiter removed. So with this generation, I feel it's pretty easy to have that done. We didn't have to go to Iveco themselves. We didn't need specialist software. Our guy Aaron, again, Mobile Eco Tuning, shout out to Aaron, was able to remove that with his diagnostics equipment. I think on the older generation, which I've had these before, you had to go to Iveco. You had to have the Iveco dealership software, and even then, when they removed the limiter, it wasn't a complete job, you know, it's still only limited to you whatever. So this has no limiter whatsoever, other than what it's capable of doing, which isn't a huge amount, but easily cruise along unladen at 70, 80, 90 if you were wanting to, I assume. I've never done that, but we're cruising along at 70 now, and it's no problem at all. It would do exactly the same with a car on the back, although obviously I only do 60. The great thing about having a recovery truck or a car transporter in your fleet over a 4x4 and a trailer, for example, is most people are comfortable enough to drive something rigid, even if it's larger like this, than they are with a trailer. People tend to get worried they're going to get into a situation with a trailer where you're going to have to reverse it and they're going to panic and not know how to do it. Most people, you know, have no clue when it comes to reversing a trailer. I'm quite in tune with it now. I've done so much towing in my life before having got a recovery truck that I actually find it harder to reverse this than I do with a trailer. I almost, as soon as I know I'm reversing something that's a car transporter, I want to start doing reverse movements. So for me it's tricky, but for everyone else, they can get in this and it's just like driving a big car. So when it comes to asking someone else to do some deliveries for me, it's quite an easy transition to go from their car to the recovery truck, especially being an automatic. They just kind of sit here and off you go. Obviously road noise in here it's not horrendous. It's obviously a lot more than a car, but if I'm sat here with someone else, these are two-seaters, be the Tesco version. I don't know if they did a three-seater with a bench seat. You can have a conversation without really straining, unless it's my dad in here, then obviously I have to shout at him anyway, but for most people, you're going to be able to sit here and comfortably have a conversation. Probably the biggest improvement we've made to this is the addition of airbags on the rear axle. It was quite good at taking a lot of weight. I mean, the whole package altogether comes to about 2.1 tons, which under the 3.5 ton weight limit leaves you 1.4 tons, including the driver and everything else, weight-wise, which it would handle that pretty well, but just it wasn't like sagging down or bringing it down too low or whatever. But we put the airbags in just for the kind of comfort. It kept the whole thing upright. You felt a bit like you were driving uphill with a bit of a heavier load on. So yeah, it was a fairly cheap kit online, and it's made a huge difference. You can kind of pump it up when you got a heavier vehicle on there, and yeah, I highly recommend that. It came with a little gauge with the pump and everything. You plug it into your cigarette lighter. It's pretty straightforward, but I've wired it up so that I've now got a bleed screw on here, so I can arrive at the job, turn the bleed screw, and it's going to start emptying out all that air in the airbags, because you kind of want the tail to be as low as possible when you're loading for the best entry. Then once you're loaded, you kind of know what pressure you want to go to for your weight. So if we're going to our maximum weight of say like 1.3 tons or something, which would be about the same today, I might go up to about 4 bar on the gauge here, and I can just press that in here. If I'm going along and I'm feeling like I'm a bit too bouncy, I can put a bit more air in there, and it'll kind of firm us up to smooth out the bumps. So well worth doing. The other great thing about using this Iveco recovery truck over my Range Rover and a trailer, which of course would be the more luxurious and comfortable drive, no doubt, air conditioning, heated seats, a fridge in the armrests for drinks, is the fuel economy. This 2.2 will do, usually when I'm driving it, around 31 miles per gallon. Obviously whoever's been driving it has probably got a bit of a heavier right foot than me, and it's down to just under 30, but still, that's a hell of a lot better than my Range Rover would do with a laden trailer. I imagine that would probably be doing around 20. It doesn't sound like a huge amount, but it adds up when you're doing longer journeys, especially for deliveries, etc. One other addition I forgot about is a tracker. I have fitted a tracker to this. It's quite a, you know, for me, a substantial investment for a business. I want to know where it is at all times. It's quite a nickable sort of item, vehicle, I should say. So I can track that with my phone, and on the computer when I'm at work, I can see where the truck is. If someone's phoning up saying, any idea when my delivery will be, I can say, yeah, look, I can see that they're half an hour away from you and they're stuck in traffic. Gives you a live view. Like I say, I can see it on my phone, and I even get text notifications to tell me when the vehicle's leaving the business premises and when it's arriving back. Set within a radius you want. If anyone wants the details for that particular tracker, please do message me and I will share away with what I'm using. Yeah, which I say, it's going to be really handy. You can get a little text alert saying, you know, this truck is coming back, and you know that you need to clear a space for it to be able to pull up and unload, etc. So we have come today to Portbury Docks. We've headed from Barrow Motors, just half an hour up the motorway, to BCA West Docks, one of my favourite places to buy from. Like I say, it's just half an hour up the motorway. It's really easy to get in and out. They're pretty quick with getting the cars out to you. Anyway, you can buy stock within half an hour from home, and it's, you know, it's always a gamble with the auctions, but choose wisely. We tend to not do too badly. It also means we get to drive past one of Cazoo's car preparation sites, which means you just see a swathe of cars on axle stands where they're having the wheels refurbished and paint polished, etc. Oh, it's a very small showing in there today, actually. Probably about a dozen cars, but I've gone past before and there's hundreds. Okay guys, that's us loaded, me back on the road home. Long weekend ahead now, so very much looking forward to that. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, subscribe, comment, share it, and I will see you in the next video.